The first to a huge line of videos to follow, and I'll be explaining that in the end. Now, I wanted to do a video on one of the protagonists that I like, and I feel that involving more Hunter would honestly be great. So this is going to be on Gon, but you knew that already. When I was getting into Hunter for the first time around, I was very interested in the positive direction that it had and how it would flown through so well with all the interactions that Gon had with the people of his town and those around him. Being the child of one of the greatest hunters of all time would most likely register its way to where people do look at Gon the way that they do now, but all of that is based off of his own character and the experience he's shared with them. He's the star player to rise from the island, and it's great. I love the approach because of how common that really does happen, and realism is tied in reasonably well with Hunter when it comes to these characters. Like how cities will have a star player at some game, and the person goes out into the world to represent themselves. They by default represent the town that they're from. Like a basketball player from a small town makes it onto the big leagues, or the number one player in your PR goes into one of the bigger Smash tournaments and he places high. It's great. It's also great that Gon does make it in action to return, because no matter where he goes, his home is always his home. Then when he gets onto the boat, he's supposed to be all like, whoa, man, everyone here is kind of scary, whoa, or something along those lines, because that's something that people would expect. But the innocence, intelligence, and honestly the strength of this character is where all that stuff is at, and the reason why he's unfazed. Those three attributes also contribute to the arcs to come. And now I'm going to skip to him and York Noob, because honestly I'm just going about what comes to mind here. Him and the Phantom Troop. Now obviously we can't have that be a factor here. It's just unable to happen. It would be completely difficult to work with the plot that we had originally, and I don't want to do that. I don't want to change the plot. The thing is, if there was a side series of manga to where we had an approach to where he was given the green light by Togashi, the person making it, and was making a different manga and all that, it doesn't bother him, doesn't mess with the original universe or whatever, how that works, I would have loved to see Gon with the troop. When Nobunaga was trying to fill the void of Uvo and recommended Gon, I could honestly see it, because the characterization and the apparent traits shared among enhancers like Uvo and Gon would honestly help to him joining. Though he won't join them because he believes that he doesn't align with them by any means, and most likely he's going to be against them for Kurapika. Though I love that it's shown that Gon isn't completely different than the troop and their belief. The idea of how are you going to kill people that have nothing to do with you, and then he proceeds to threaten the life of Komugi in the Chimera Ant arc. It's completely contradicting himself. And along with that, he's grateful to Binolt for the help in his training, but completely disregards his serial killing history. It's interesting. This character is an enigma, but obviously he's childlike. He's going to have some hypocrisy and all that, because that's honestly how that works. Now on his intelligence, he's obviously affiliated with the whole hard-headedness, dumb at times, I can't do math type of character, obviously. But his unorthodox answers to his fights, his attention to detail of setting, how he internalizes general information, him just being the nature boy, and all of that, it works well. Best example to show this intelligence and all of that is to look to his adult Gon form. The fact that he internalized the information given by Kurapika, crafted his most aggressive emotions towards this, potential take from Bisky, Moral, and Pito on how they apply Nen throughout their body. That's potentially a case. It might just be the fact that he's just an enhancer. That's how that works. And all of that is pushed into this form that shows you this level of understanding of Nen and all that just puts him at such a high platform in comparison to a lot of characters, because this character's not dumb. I also want to attribute to him during the entirety of the Chimera Ant arc to the point of intelligence because of how well he had done against the ants. Some think that he did overpower some. That definitely happened. But for the most part, he was outplaying his opponents and using his strength with it. And mostly it's due to his knowledge of surroundings and all of that. That's usually how that goes. And I think the biggest thing that I also give him is the simplicity of Janken. This has happened before in manga before Hunter, and actually many anime after that take from Hunter, and obviously Hunter probably took from other stuff. That would makes the most sense. But how it directly works with Gon is honestly why I'm so tied to it when it becomes with him having such a simple ability. Having something like rock, paper, scissors being that simplistic and relating towards this character, it makes the most sense for me, and it, like, honestly, that's where I like to see it the most. But yeah, now that's going to actually be it for now. I have a lot to say on Gon. The thing is that they kind of just separate into their own little character analysis and stuff that I approach and all that. It's just like a bunch of huge stuff. So for everything that I do want to get out there, like the stuff that I've been overthinking about, because it's usually what these thoughts on videos are about. It's just like, oh, I've been thinking about this for a while. I might want to just get this out into a video and show the people and see what their thoughts are and all of that. But yeah, so for what I'm going to be doing here in December, I plan to have about 12 videos that go down into this line of this Caleb Christmas type specials type thing, where it's just like, oh, the 12 days of Christmas, but it won't be directly 12 days back to back. It will have some breaks in there because I'm gonna die if I consistently do that, and I do need my time. So yeah, hopefully I'll do that. But yeah, thank you all for watching again. I don't know if I said that already. Hopefully I'll see you on to the next one. Next video is going to be on Gyro. So until then, peace out. Oh wait, oh my bad. Wait, run this back. Oh god. Gyro from JoJo Gyro, not Gyro in Hunter Gyro. So hopefully I'll see you on the next one. Until then, peace out and Godspeed.